Hi everyone, my name is Andrew Sheely of a company called ROC Architecture, and today I'm talking to you about the benefits of speaking to a duty planner when you are looking to submit an application to the local authority, or whether you should just go straight in with a pre-application submission, what they are, the benefits, and how you can use them to your advantage. So you have two options typically when you are looking to get advice from the council prior to making any formal planning application. Those two options are going into the council to speak to a person called the duty planner, and they're usually on duty between 9 AM and 12 PM or lunchtime, Monday to Friday. That duty planner is someone who will come and sit with you, look at drawings and photographs and sketches you may have that demonstrate the extent of the scheme that you're looking to provide, and they'll give you honest feedback about whether they think that the scheme is viable or whether they actually think the scheme is maybe a little bit too adventurous, and they'll give you recommendations about how you might have to reduce that scheme to ensure that it gets through planning. The nice thing about this process is it's informal. You get to speak to someone about your options, and it's free, which is always good. Sorry about the noise, which is always good. It means that you can go in, speak, get feedback, know where you stand. It hasn't cost you a penny. The other benefit of doing this route is that when you are looking to make a submission to the council, you always want to know, like, what's the shades of grey? You don't just want to know, well, is it acceptable or not? Sometimes you want to know, well, it's not acceptable here, but if I bring it into 3 meters deep, or I reduce the height or change the material, then it would be acceptable. And that kind of feedback is the kind of feedback you can get from the duty planner, and it means you make a really informed decision about the route forward with your designs prior to submitting to the council. The other route you can take is what's called a pre-application submission. This submission is done in writing to the council with a formal application, and sometimes there's a fee to be paid too. Now, when you submit your scheme to the council, you want to send drawings and photographs and something that they can understand what you're looking to achieve. The negative I find of doing an actual formal pre-application submission is that the council will only answer you based on the questions you've asked. So if you say you want X, they'll say yes, X is acceptable or is not acceptable. And that's all well and good if you've got a large scheme, but sometimes it's those shades of grey in the middle that make all the difference, because you might want to know, well, as I said before, if I reduce the scheme slightly or make it smaller or change the direction of the windows, maybe that's something you can then say is going to be approved. Whereas when you get it in writing from the council, they'll only answer the question you've asked, so it can be a little bit negative. I also feel that sometimes pre-application submissions can take a little bit too long, typically 4 to 6 weeks to get a written response from the council, whereas if you go and speak to the duty planner, then you can do that on the day. You can get the feedback immediately. Yes, it's not committed to writing. Yes, it's informal, of course, but you get a good perspective of a planning officer who's working in the council on that day. And you know, these planning officers know what they're talking about. I think it's usually the best route forward. If you need to get something in writing after, then you can always do that, of course. There's nothing to stop you submitting a pre-application submission to the council anyway. But why not take the journey to the council offices and see what you can find out about what you want to do first. I hope that's been useful. If you have any more questions regards pre-application submissions or going to speak to the duty planner and the best way to present that kind of information, then please feel free to call the office and speak to me or one of my team. That's ROC Architecture and Chartered Surveyors. Wishing you a good day and best of luck with your project. Thank you.